What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist here, brought to you by...
Gersh1.
He literally brought me here.
I did.
Yeah.
He jumped in my car and I brought him here.
Literally jumped. Because I got moon shoes. And welcome to another For the Greater...
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put a question in front of your question because we get those questions first. Also, if you enjoy our content and you want to support the channel, hit us up with a super thanks. If you do, you can ask us a question and you will lead the next Greater WAAAGH, meaning that your question will be a thumbnail thing and you will forever be concreted, is that a word? Concreted
Sure.
into the legacy of the Greater WAAAGH. And that question comes from, damn, I have it, right?
You got it.
T's Family Kent. How long do you think it will take for the Tyranids to adapt to be able to consume Necrodermis?
Yeah, so basically, Necrodermis is this living metal that all Necrons have. It's what their bodies are made out of because they were tricked into it by the Catan. So because of that, it's not a biological thing, and Tyranids only consume biological or biomass is like how they like to call it. So can Tyranids eat Necrons? Can they consume and devour Necrodermis? The lore is a little hazy. Most of it leads to no, because when there are Necron tomb worlds and a Tyranid goes to devour the biomass on that planet, the planet is left as a barren husk. Yeah, so at this point, no, but there's always a chance that through evolution, through enough fights and battles against the Necrons, they will evolve to essentially be able to process and ingest this type of metal.
And then for a while, I thought like, oh, that's going to be super dangerous because then you have Tyranids that they're going to be made out of Necrodermis, so they're going to be healable, super like durable and stuff like that. But the Tyranids don't really need that.
Yeah, I mean, if one Tyranid dies, oh well.
Yeah,
they'll just get made into goop, get regurgitated or resent into the Norn, what is it called? The Norn Queen's hive mind
thingy,
biomass ships.
Yeah,
and then they'll come back again, but not as itself. It'll be a completely different organism, different thoughts, different adaptations, etc.
That's the cool thing about the Necrons and the Tyranids. They're two bad guys in 40K, but they operate very differently. Tyranids don't need Necron technology. They kind of already have something better, which is biological mind control.
And it's interesting to see these two, I guess, quote-unquote, bad guys going up against each other. Because when you think of all the Xenos in 40K, like the Tyranids are like the biggest threat right now because they're apparently all around the entire galaxy coming in. And if they're not stopped, then of course there won't be a galaxy to inhabit or be on. And the Silent King knows this. He went outside of the galaxy and he came back and he saw the Tyranids as a major threat. So it's a good thing that their Gauss weaponry de-atomizes things.
For sure.
Because that means that dead Tyranids, there's nothing left to go back to the hive mind to become biomass and splurt out other things. So the Necrons are probably the biggest bug spray when it comes to the Tyranids.
Yep. Good question. The next one comes from Ken Brockus172. One Mind Syndicate rocks, but what is OMS's favorite YouTube lore channel? And if you guys are feeling salty, what's a not a favorite lore channel?
Go ahead.
So the reason I started creating lore videos is because there used to be a channel called Vaults of Terra. So that's my favorite channel because it's the OG one.
I think I speak for everybody here when I say mini wargaming was a driving force in the early stages of YouTube and 40K and everything like that. However, throughout the years, I've started to watch less and less 40K channels. However, Play on Tabletop, even though they're not lore, they still put out really amazing bat reps. And I watch it less for the actual rules and more to actually see these awesome painted models on the table.
Yeah, for sure. I wish Tabletop Tactics, that's the one with like the purple little icon, right?
Maybe. No, they're like black and white.
Oh, which one's the one that's the purple one?
Vanguard Tactics?
Maybe. That one pumps out a shit ton of battle reports, but they do a shitty job of showing the armies. I wish they like showed more of the armies because I think they just give you like a list.
Tabletop Titans?
Maybe that one. And then as far as like YouTube channels for 40K that are not lore related but are still really cool, Eons of Battle.
Yeah. I watch it just for the hobby side of things. Like, the dude's entertaining, like the painting tutorials and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah.
Even when he's not talking about 40K stuff, just like hobby stuff in general, it's pretty entertaining.
Yeah. I've never really gotten into painting, or not painting. Which ones are the ones where like they're gonna dip the Titans in like
conversion work and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's like Pete the Wargamer. There's a few other ones.
Pete the Wargamer is really badass.
Yeah.
His channel is really good.
Yeah.
And then, do you feel salty? Do you want to say a YouTube channel you don't like?
Probably One Mind Syndicate.
Yeah. Those guys just read off the wiki.
Mm-hmm. They answer questions all the time. They don't even know the answer to the questions.
No, and they're Mexican. Ew.
Yuck.
Next question comes from Brian B. Since the line is back, who's the next Loyalist Primarch to return?
That's an interesting one, because as soon as the Lion was announced, even before he was officially announced, videos on who's the next one after the Lion, it's like, damn, just give us time to ingest the lore and actually see how he came back. But now that he's here, another thing that both Gilliman and the Lion have that like I feel is going to be a returning thing is the Emperor's weapons, or something that the Emperor has been gifted to his sons. Mm-hmm. The Emperor has the golden, or the sword, the flaming sword. The Lion, Gilliman has the sword.
Right.
The Lion has the shield. So what's the next thing that the Emperor had? It could be his gauntlet. So who do you think would be able to wield the gauntlet that would make sense for a Loyalist to come back with that?
The dude without no hand, because they got it chopped off.
Yes, and that's exactly where I was leading to. Dorn. Yeah.
It would kind of suck if Rogodorn came back, though, because Rogodorn is basically Gilliman.
Yeah, him and Gilliman, I feel, are like the least. Oh my god! Like, like give us somebody with more flavor, more entice.
Yeah, that's not to say that, because like I'm an Imperial Guard or Imperial.
Yeah, Imperial Fist.
Yeah, Imperial Fist player. Mm-hmm. But just bringing him back when you have like Jagatai Khan, which is like super badass lore. You have Leman Russ. Sanguinius, even though I mean
he's dead, but
technically, yeah. So, the next one to come back, who knows?
Right. I just want the freaking GW to stay on this track of giving us these demon Primarchs and give us Fulgrim.
Fulgrim, yeah.
For the longest time, there has never been a supplement or a codex for Slaanesh.
True.
The World Eaters got obviously the Khorne one, Thousand Suns. Why haven't the Emperor's Children gotten their comeuppance?
Comeuppance.
Yeah, so hopefully GW gives us Fulgrim with their own rules, their own abilities, a new line to play Noise Marines, and Emperor's Children in general, because I've been waiting. There's Slaaneshi models that come out for Age of Sigmar. Why is 40K not doing that?
I just want to see titties.
That's what I'm trying to go around the bush and say.
I want to paint titties.
Mm-hmm. 6 of them. Anteater tongues.
There you go. This next question comes from Brian Cord 817 or 806. Why did I say 7? I can't even drink and follow the rambling. That's because like we do not exist in this material world, so things are not linear for us. So sorry. Because
you are living in a material world, and we are not material girls.
We're not. We're not even girls. Or are we? You don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard to follow our train of thought because we ride planes.
Yeah. It's gonna take me a while to like get that joke, but yeah.
You can't fathom it because we're so in depth. We're under the sea.
There you go. Is that a Little Mermaid?
I did watch that recently.
Next question.
This one is by Aaron Trujillo. Do you think that as the Tyranids get stronger and stronger from taking over planets, the Imperium will have no choice but to ally with other races, like the Eldar, the Tau, to put an end to the Tyranid infestation?
No, not at all.
Yeah, the whole alliance thing with other races seems to only be for this particular reason and only that. Yeah. And it's not like a whole race. It's like this portion of the Eldar, this portion of the Necrons. Because they have allied. The Blood Angels allied with the Necrons to fight the Tyranids. The Tau have always been allying with other different races, etc. So it does happen, but it's never a long-lasting mutual union. Yeah. unless you count the Imperium and the Eldar with the whole Guilliman and Yvrain. But even then, it's like the Dark Eldar aren't a part of that. You have the Exodites that are nowhere near a part of that. So,
and like you said, it was it happened because there was conflict. There was a common enemy.
Chaos.
But in times of peace, what's going to happen? They're just going to go at each other's throats.
Except Yvrain and Guilliman, because they're boyfriend and girlfriend.
Or they kiss, but they don't sleep in the same bed. So remember that, guys. Always sleep in the same bed as your significant other.
Even if they're an ancient Eldari warrior of death.
Yeah, there's something special about butt-to-butt touching when you're sleeping.
Yeah, because when you fart, it's now a part of them.
Oh, wow, maybe that's it. I don't fart in my sleep. I'm only told that I do, and I ignore it. Last question.
This one is by Carlo Bananas.
Sure.
My take on this is that the bugs only take specific traits, abilities, etc. from their victims, and then use that to incorporate it into their life forms through evolution. I don't think that they see anything in the orcs that they don't already have. They're not lacking in tenacity. They can't reproduce just as fast or even faster. And they are impervious to damage, and their innate psychic powers are more potent than that of the Green Horde. Safe to say the orcs and their inhabited worlds are just another food source for the Nids. So basically you're saying that the Tyranids have nothing to gain from the orcs besides being just a food source. And I guess technically that is correct, but that's not to say that that is a correct thing, because we've seen the orcs and the Tyranids are in the most heavily fought place in the entire galaxy, Armageddon, aka...
Or not Armageddon, it was the latest one that came out.
Right.
Where there's like a... So is it Carcharodon? No. Car something? But yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
that place, yeah.
That place, yeah. So it's like they're fighting against each other, and it's like neither one is winning, and it's just leading to just more orcs going into that battle sector, more Tyranids being let in there, and whoever comes out on top is going to be stronger.
And we've seen, because the Imperium have said that the Tyranids are stronger in that sector. So they are gaining something, even if it's just experience. So they're not just a food source. Octarius.
There you go.
Octarius.
The Octarius sector. Yeah.
Or Octavius. I don't know. But yeah, those were the questions for today. Thank you for sending those questions our way. We did finish answering that question at the last.
It wasn't really a question. It was just kind of like orcs don't gain anything.
Yep. Did you see the Barbie movie?
No, I did not.
Okay. And those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you so much for hanging out with us and being cool.
Because when you're cool, you ask questions. Thanks for asking them, guys. As always, it's the Sound Alchemist.
Gershwan.
And we are out.